When you love the Doctor, it's like loving the stars themselves. You don't expect a sunset to admire you back. And if I happen to find myself in danger, let me tell you, the Doctor is not stupid enough or sentimental enough, and he is certainly not in love enough to find himself standing in it with me.
Hello, sweetie.
Oh my Bridgerton. We just got to witness a full-on Regency drama starring the Doctor, Ruby, some freaky shapeshifters, and a dashing bounty hunter known as Rogue. Sparks were flying between the Doctor and Rogue throughout the adventure, culminating in Rogue trapping himself in a far-off dimension to save the Doctor and Ruby. Part noble sacrifice, part romantic gesture. When you're a semi-immortal, time-traveling alien, relationships can get complicated. For a long time, the Doctor has avoided romance, but sometimes the hearts want what they want. So while we mourn the loss of what could have been between the Doctor and Rogue, let's look back at some of the Doctor's other loves and losses.
It's stunning. Yes, it is. Not a bad date, am I?
Firstly, let's talk about the Doctor for a minute. They're a super intelligent, charismatic, good-hearted weirdo with an endless sense of adventure. They've got a mysterious streak a mile wide, and they're also really protective of the ones they care about. Of course people are gonna fall in love with them. The Doctor makes a lot of new friends on their adventures through time and space, but some of those people are interested in being more than friends.
You seem to be flesh and blood at any rate, but this is absurd. Reason tells me you cannot be real.
Oh, you never want to listen to reason.
Mademoiselle, your mother grows impatient.
A moment! So many questions, so little time.
Yeah, this happens way more than you'd think, especially to the 10th Doctor. Among some fans, this incarnation of the Doctor has a reputation for being a bit of a time-traveling flirt. Personally, I have no idea where these accusations come from. Nah, a lot of it just looks like speculation and gossip to me. Alright, okay, you got me, fine. But it's not like the Doctor is out here, I don't know, getting married to every historical figure that they meet.
But what about the creature?
Elizabeth, whichever one of you is the real one, turn and run in the opposite direction to the other one.
Of course, my love. Stay alive, my love. I am not done with you yet.
Thanks, lovely.
I understand. Live for me, my darling. We shall be together again.
Well, wouldn't that be nice?
One of those was a Zygon.
Yeah.
Big red rubbery thing covered in suckers.
Yeah.
Venom sacs in the tongue.
Yeah, I'm getting the point, thank you.
Nice.
Inevitably, the person to crush the hardest on the Doctor might end up being their closest friend, specifically one of their companions. This can get complicated pretty quickly, and as you can imagine, it also makes it so much harder to say goodbye. When Rose Tyler was separated from the Doctor in a parallel universe, she took the chance to use their final goodbye to confess her feelings.
I love you.
It's quite right, too.
And I suppose it's my last chance to say it. Rose Tyler.
Years ago, still not over it. But the loss of Rose is a good example of why the Doctor usually tries to guard their hearts. They know that sooner or later, they're always going to have to say goodbye to their companions. And for them, it's a whole different kind of heartbreak. Heartbreaks? We saw this in action much more recently, on a different beach, when the Doctor and Yaz reconciled their growing feelings for each other.
Yaz. I can't fix myself to anything, anywhere. Or anyone. I've never been able to. That's what my life is. No, of course. Not because I don't want to. Because I might. But if I do fix myself to somebody, I know sooner or later it'll hurt.
We know that the Doctor tends to avoid romance, and we know the reasons why. But that doesn't mean they aren't capable of love. Sometimes they even commit to it. Because it's probably worth bringing up, the Doctor is technically married. Spoilers.
Hi, honey. I'm home.
And what sort of time do you call this?
Yes, River Song. The Doctor's on again, off again, time-traveling assassin / wife. It really doesn't do it justice trying to sum her up in one sentence. What makes the Doctor and River's relationship so complicated is that they keep meeting out of order. It's hard to keep track when you're both time travelers. Right from the beginning, the first time the Doctor ever met River would be the last time that she would ever see him. Kind of, technically, as a physical body as opposed to a digital consciousness. It gets complicated.
River, please, no.
Funny thing is, this means you've always known how I was going to die. All the time we've been together, you knew I was coming here. The last time I saw you, the real you, the future you, I mean, you turned up on my doorstep with a new haircut and a suit. You took me to Tyrell to see the Singing Towers. What a night that was. The towers sang, and you cried.
Oof. Can you imagine getting your heart broken by someone you only just met? Luckily though, the Doctor runs into River again. And again, and again. Even across regenerations. Every time they meet, it adds a new layer to the mystery. And of course, the sparks keep flying. It all finally comes to a head when the Doctor and River accidentally cause a paradox in time. And the only way to fix it is to get married.
Now, there you go, River Song. Melody Pond. You're the woman who married me. And wife, I have a request. This world is dying and it's my fault. And I can't bear it another day. Please, help me. There isn't another way.
Then you may kiss the bride.
I'll make it a good one.
You better.
River is the first time the Doctor has had a real recurring romantic interest, and the fact that it's such a timey-wimey relationship is probably a part of the appeal. The Doctor's last adventure with River ended in them fulfilling the promise of one last night at the Singing Towers of Tyrell. Well, I say one night.
Assuming tonight is all we have left.
I didn't say that.
How long is a night on Tyrell?
24 years.
I hate you.
No, you don't.
See? Even the Doctor deserves a happily ever after every once in a while. When you roam the universe with two hearts, you have a whole lot of love to give. But at the same time, you put yourself at risk of double the heartbreak. Heartbreaks. Maybe the Doctor will see Rogue again in the future. But for now, at least we know there might just be a little more room for someone special in the TARDIS.
Let's not say goodbye.
You know what, guys? Let's not say goodbye either. What you want to do is click below, subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel, and then watch these other videos. That way you will never have to say goodbye. Ideally, please.